I love to be able to meal prep whenever possible. And I don't like to compromise on the food that I'm eating. So, you know, I'm always looking for dishes that I can make on a Sunday, make a lot of it, and it'll run us through, you know, most of the week. That is great when it comes to my lifestyle. You know, I have 2 kids. My wife and I both have jobs. So it's important to be efficient. There's no better way to be efficient when it comes to cooking than with meal prep. So a dish that I want to show you is my teriyaki chicken. Chicken teriyaki is just a really wonderful dish, and you can do different things to it. Every time you cook it, you can use a different sauce, you can use different ingredients, you can kind of tweak it, or you can use the same way. If it works for you, use it again. I'm going to show you the basics of the way I like to do chicken teriyaki, and you can kind of take it from there. Here's my first tip. Use both some chicken thighs and some chicken breast. The chicken thighs are gonna give you that extra fat and flavor, and the chicken breast is gonna give you some healthier meat in there as well. I'm going with the thinner cut chicken breast. I think I can regulate the temperature just a little easier when they're thin like that. I'm gonna cut off anything sloppy, any fat like this. We don't need that. I'm gonna go ahead and trim all that off, and then any of the real small pieces. On both the breast and the thighs, I think a big place that people go wrong is they either don't cut it up at all, or they cut it too small, and then it, you know, when it cooks down and it's just too small. So I like to take both the breast, a thin cut breast like this, and the thighs, and cut them into 4. So I'll kind of start right in the middle, 2 equal sizes, and then I'm going to go 1 cut on each side. I like to get the boneless chicken thighs. It just saves me that little bit of extra effort. You know, somebody else has already taken care of it for me. All I need to do is go ahead and cut it into pieces for the teriyaki, and I'm going to do that the same way as I did the breast. After you have all your chicken cut up and trimmed, now I like to go ahead and just kind of brush on a coat of AP flour. It doesn't need to be real thick, but we want something to help give us a nice, you know, crisp chicken. You can shake it in a bag if you want, but I don't think it needs that kind of coverage. You just kind of want a nice light coverage. Do both sides. My first tip was to make sure your chicken is the right size. So rather you use all thighs or all breast, the main thing is you want to cut it down into, you know, 3/4 to 1 inch thick strips. That way they all kind of cook as evenly as possible. The thing about cutting it into pieces is you're going to get more contact with the sauce. You're going to get more flavor. If you left it as one whole breast or thigh, or the bigger the chunks, the less contact you're going to get, you know, with the chicken with the teriyaki sauce. If you cut it too small, it ends up shrinking in the pan when you cook it, and you end up with, you know, real tiny chicken bites that tend to dry out a little easier. I got my little man helping me today. He hasn't had a whole lot of frying pan action, so I wanted to get him some. This is a pretty simple cook. The thing about chicken teriyaki, and my next tip for you, is going to be make sure your pan is hot. If you put the chicken in when it's too cold, it's liable to stick. We're dealing with chicken and flour, and you know, if your pan's not hot, it's going to cause problems for you. When you see a little bit of smoke coming off the pan, it's time to go ahead and put in a little olive oil or whatever oil you like to cook with, just a little bit, and then we'll start getting the chicken in there. The thing about olive oil is it acts so much better when the pan's hot. If your pan's not hot when you put your olive oil in, it's just not going to function the same. It's going to be a little harder to get good coverage. If your chicken didn't sizzle when you put it in the pan, it's because you didn't have your pan hot enough. We want to get it just a little bit browner than that. We want that nice crisp on the outside. So we're going to hold off and wait till we get a nice, you know, crispy brown on the outside. Takes a little practice. And we're just gonna wait until we don't see any pink and they have a nice golden crisp on the outside.
So grab your favorite teriyaki sauce, or you can make it at home, and we're gonna simmer it in the pan with the chicken for about a half an hour, or until the chicken comes up to 165 degrees.
Since the chicken was cooked in different rounds, it's important that we go around to at least all the big pieces and make sure they're 165 or higher. 170. 62. 163. We're close. Why don't you try that out? Chicken teriyaki with a simple finish, just white rice. You can use whatever kind of rice you want. You can flavor the rice, but this is just simple, you know, all about the teriyaki flavor, and there's plenty of it all week. Let's see how it tastes. Got a little piece of chicken and some of the rice. Let me know what you think. What do you think?
It's very good. It's a good mix with the rice.
Yeah.
Chicken is.
It came out really nice. And a lot of this has to do with the sauce that you're gonna use. I'm not stuck on any one sauce, but I like playing with sauces some, but when it comes to teriyaki, they have it perfected way better than I ever could. So we just use different brands, but this one is a mild but delicious finish. Try some chicken teriyaki, meal prep for the whole week. You eat delicious food and you'll have lots of time to do other stuff during the week. Thanks for watching.